today's video, I'm going to be talking about some of the upcoming dungeon games that are set to release before the end of 2024 that I'm personally excited for, and I'll link all their discords down below, so be sure to join those to keep up to date with them, and also join mine as well if you kind of like dungeon card games or games like this, because that's mainly what I do. First off, and the one I'm probably most excited for is Orbital Odyssey, a blend of anime and space/galaxy themes for this dungeon game, with an estimated release date of somewhere between June to August per the developers at the moment. You can expect quite a bit from it as well, like PvP, trading, and at least multiple dungeons on launch, because we do have 2 dungeon trailers so far, so I'm assuming 2 dungeons are done at the minimum. And if you want to see what I'm talking about, like sneak peeks and stuff, you can look at like the 2 other videos I've done about this, or again, join their Discord and just look at all the sneaks they have up there right now for yourself. Now, this one is like uniquely interesting to me, and I'm kind of excited for one because I love the themes of the game. Like I said, the whole like galaxy space stuff just seems so cool to me and so unique, and because the graphics also look amazing and the ability sneaks do as well. Like, just visually, the game so far looks really good. Now, I haven't seen any gameplay or been able to play anything myself, so I can't really go to say like how it'll play and if you should be excited based on that, but it does visually look very nice, and it does look like it's going in a good direction. And the creativity is another thing I'm really excited for about this game, because where most anime games just kind of copy the anime stuff one for one, it does appear like they're going to be intertwining some like normal anime stuff with their own like creativity. Like with the Gojo kind of like hollow purple move, they kind of changed it up a little bit to their own thing to kind of more fit their theme. So I think that could be really cool if they do that right, and I think this could definitely be like an Anime Dimensions rival if they do it correctly. Next off is Arcane Conquest, which I will say has been out before and been played before, but if you know about it, it hasn't for the longest time now. Well, I mean, it kind of has. It was in beta not too long ago. I missed that, unfortunately. So this Arcane Conquest is a bit of a re-releasal thing. This game gears itself more as like a DQ and Fable Legacy style of dungeon game, which is probably a good thing for most people, but can be a bad thing for others if you're kind of a little bit dry of those type of games and want to see a little bit, you know, more uniqueness. But if those are your type of games, and if you're watching this video about dungeon games, I imagine it is, I'd keep an eye on this one as well. And according to the developers, release is actually in just a few weeks, with the beta having just closed, which makes this one, I believe, the closest to any on this list to releasing. I won't lie though, unlike Orbital Odyssey, the reasons why I'm excited for this one aren't nearly as complicated. I like Dungeon Quest, I like Fable Legacy, therefore I'm kind of excited for this one as well. That's really it for me. Plus, the creator of this seems very cool and rather transparent with the community. And with this one, we kind of know how it plays, the look of it, all that. There's videos on this game, and I heavily implore you to take a look at it. Now, there are other games like Arcane Conquest that are coming out, but I'm only going to name Arcane Conquest probably because it does seem like the best one along like the Dungeon Quest and Fable Legacy style of dungeon game that's coming out, at least this year. Also, before I move down to the next main game, I want to mention 3 other games similar to Arcane Conquest briefly that are also releasing this year, kind of in that same like Dungeon Quest, Fable Legacy style. First off is Dungeon Legends with an expected release date of Q4 of 2024. Next is Destroyer. That's the name of the game, is just Destroyer, where it says that is in 1 to 2 weeks, and even currently has a dungeon trailer out right now. If you want to check that out, I'll link to it in the description. And then lastly is Dungeon Heroes. Kind of looks like this year, with the announcement saying alpha should have been released like 2 weeks ago, so I would assume it's close. But a lot of these games don't have like hard deadlines. You just kind of have to like feel out when it's going to be released, and this is kind of like one of those. These are all, again, traditional style dungeon games like Dungeon Quest that I found out about while recording this video and decided to mention it along with Arcane Conquest. For the third game I wanted to add is SBL Reborn. This one is a solo leveling style game, and if you don't know, in solo leveling, the whole thing is entering gates, defeating monsters and enemies, and getting rewarded loot at the end, leveling up, all that. The whole anime is just a dungeon game, to be honest, so I'm glad someone is making a game off of it, because honestly, there is so much potential here, and it fits the genre I love so much. Now, I'm not sure if people really consider this a dungeon crawler. Honestly, it probably fits RPG a little better, but I wanted to throw it up here anyway since it has a lot of dungeon crawling elements, and I think people who like kind of like dungeon crawlers might also find a lot of value here in this game. At least I know I will. Currently, the release date isn't set, but with multiple waves of testing have been out and the game seemingly having good progress, I'd expect this game to be out within 2024. I'd be really shocked if it wasn't, especially since the solo leveling hype is crazy high right now. I think it just makes sense to. Now, this one I'm excited mainly primarily because solo leveling is so cool, honestly. It's kind of a basic concept, but it is pretty cool, and there's a lot of potential here for the game to blow up because of all that hype. And just from what I've seen and the other people's videos I've seen, it looks really solid. And if I remember correctly, you can play this one at the moment by joining their Discord and like I think paying for access. So I think there's a way to play this right now if you want it. Upcoming dungeon games to get hyped about are kind of scarce at the moment, I won't lie, and there are more, but the other ones I've taken a peek at didn't really seem all that worth mentioning, or didn't, I think, fit the genre of dungeon crawler close enough. So I wanted to compile just the 3 best in kind of different categories. Like with Orbital Odyssey, it kind of fits that anime dimension style category, but I think could be a rival. Arcane Conquest is obviously just traditional like dungeon quest style. And then SBL Reborn has a lot of like RPG, but also dungeon crawling elements. So I want to name just 3 that looked very promising for different reasons. So tell me your personal favorite here, or maybe an upcoming one I missed, because I'm always looking for new ones to play or take a peek at or whatever. But thanks for watching. Yeah, see you.